Welcome students, welcome to these online sessions of operations research. In this lecture, we are going to study about decision theory. We will introduce a concept called decision theory. So first of all, we will look into the introduction part. Then we will look into what are the elements of decision theory, what makes decision theory or decision making. We will also look into the types of decision, and then finally we will explore the steps in decision making. So let's look into the introduction part. So whenever we take decision, if you think about any problem, either way you can solve the problem with the help of two approaches: quantitative analysis or qualitative analysis. Quantitative analysis is nothing but operations research, right? Qualitative analysis involves the categorization of the variable, whatever the variables are, we categorize them. Let's say, for example, emotions are there, intuitions are there, rumors. These all are the categorical variable, or you can say we analyze them with the help of qualitative analysis. There are certain cases where we convert them into a logic, numbers, right? We model scientific models, mathematical models, then solve the problem. This approach is quantitative approach, right? Both the approach can easily be solved with the help of decision models. So we will look into these models in detail. So what is this decision theory? It is an analytical and systematic approach to solve the problem of decision making. You study the decision making with the help of analytical and systematic approach, right? Two cases are there: bad decisions and good decisions. Good decisions are based on logic. You have certain logic in them, right? Instead of going through qualitative approach, it focuses on quantitative approach. Also, all the alternatives, all the options are considered in this kind of approach of good decision making, right? Which is in contrast with the bad decision making, which is not based on logic, which only uses the qualitative data, as well as it does not consider all the alternatives, right? So that's why good decision making consists of logic, quantitative factors, as well as the it also includes the all the available factors, right? Or you can say the alternatives taken into account. Now, why do we learn it? Because it is applied in capacity planning when the company wants to plan for the capacity expansion, for example, right? Location plan, the company wants to plan for the manufacturing and they're planning for the location of the factory. They can use this decision making models. Even when they're launching new product or new services or existing services, when they are designing, they can use this decision theory models. And finally, for the selection of the equipment which can be used in the day-to-day manufacturing, right, they can use this decision theory models. Now, if it is definitely an integral part for planning, organizing and controlling specifically, or you can say decision making is an integral part of management, right? Because management obviously involves the planning, organizing, controlling, monitoring the processes which take place in the organization, right? And whenever an individual faces the problem of, if you see here, dissatisfied with the existing decision, or you can say there are alternate decisions which are involved in decision making, we can easily explore those options, and which is beneficial to the company, we can employ those kind of approach or alternatives. So what are the elements of decision making? First of all, goals, right? Whatever the company wants to achieve, they may be assisting or conflicting goals. Decision maker or the individual or the organization which is taking the decisions. The course of action is, or you can say the alternatives. What are the alternatives of decisions? And these alternatives are under control of decision maker only, right? Then you have state of nature. What are the possible list of future events? When you take some decision, what are the future events that are likely to be happen? That is the state of nature. Then you have preference, or you can say value system. The criteria that the decision maker use of making a choice for the best course of action. Let's say, for example, there are multiple course of actions are there. Out of that, some of them are useful, or you can say beneficial for the decision maker. So that is nothing but a preference. Payoff is the outcome. You can say the whatever the combination of course of action and state of nature is there, the effectiveness, that is that is gained with the help of this combination of, first of all, the course of actions you are taking and the states of nature. And that effectiveness is nothing but payoff. You can say it is payoff or you can say profit. We have looked into this payoff in game theory as well. Opportunity loss table, whenever you are losing, right, you can convert them into a table form, right. Again, whenever you are selecting any strategy, right, a course of action which is not favorable, then what is happening is you will get the loss. Now, what are the steps in the decision making? Let's look into them one by one. First of all, whatever the problem is, clearly define the problem, right? What the states of nature are, what are the outcomes, what are the alternatives. We have to identify them. But before that, we have to define the problem in hand. Then whatever the alternatives for that decision making, if let's say for example, if you have two projects on hand and you have literally identified the problem of decision making, now what to select out of these two projects. Now these two are the options, right? If you select one project, what are the different outcomes, what are the different alternatives out of that project? You have to list them out. Then once you have the alternatives, different alternatives and sub branches, you have to find out the outcomes, what the outcomes are if you select that kind of state of nature, right, in terms of payoff. Then you can list out the payoff of individual branches, or you can say individual outcome of each of the decision nodes. Why? Because so that you can easily identify, you can convert them into a mathematical model to solve. Once you have identified, you have literally defined all of this. Let's say for example, first of all, the problem definition, right, alternative definition, outcomes you have defined, and finally you have converted them into a mathematical model with the help of probability estimates. You can easily solve the problem and you can arrive at the optimal decision to be taken. So these are some of them. And finally, once you apply this model, there are different models of decision making. Any one which is suitable for the prevalent problem, you apply them and you get the optimal solution for the decision making. So these are formal steps, right, we apply. Now, what are the different types of decision making? First of all, based on the environment, under certainty means, what do you mean by that? It is that the outcome is known beforehand, right? Let's say for example, if you have invested in post office, right, then you know that what will be the outcome after 5 years of your investment, because it is a guaranteed outcome. Next is decision making under risk, that is under share market, right, because it depends upon the market risk, or you can say mutual funds, as you have seen in the advertise. So the decision outcome is definitely not known, right? Then you have decision making under uncertainties. There are uncertain terms where based on the different subjects or different decision makers, you have different decision alternatives and outcomes. And definitely the outcome is not known, right? And even its probability is not known. It means uncertain environment is there. So in that case, whenever you are deciding, that decision making process is decision making under uncertainty. So again, if you talk about the management point of view, strategic decisions are also there, which depends upon the external environment to the organization which is taking decisions. That is strategic decisions, right? Internally, whenever you are for structuring of the organization is there, acquisition of the resources there which will be used in the organization, then it is the administrative decision making. And finally, you have the operating for day-to-day operations, production, manufacturing, or you can say day-to-day activities within the organizations. Then the decisions taken are the operating decisions. So based point of view of the management, we have specifically 3 types of decisions. Strategic decisions, which depends upon the external environment of the organization. You have administrative decisions for structuring within the organization, as well as the acquisition of resources which will be used in the organization. And finally, operating decisions which are used for day-to-day activities, like inventory control is there, scheduling is there, production is there, and likewise, right? So in this way we have introduced a new topic called decision theory. What the decision theory is, where it is applied, what are the applications of decision theory, and how do we approach the problem of decision making. We have different models. We looked into 6 steps of decision making problem, how to approach the decision making problem, right? And we also looked into finally the types of decision, right? What are the different types of decision based on management and based on environment. Hence, we have concluded with the introduction of decision theory. Thank you very much.